I am Meggie, and this is my very, very first shamanic shadow healing with Nicole. She's amazing. I felt when we first started, I was really into it because when you first started the bells, I don't remember any of that part, but when you went into like the third eye and then you went all the way straight down, there's so much. I think we covered so much, it's hard to like
remember everything. That's why we're gonna just do one at a time and go from there.
So the third eye, just basically opening up myself to the spiritual realm and to my angels and to the experience and to my parent or to my parent.
So that was going into the crown chakra, so quieting mind,
quieting mind, and then we went into
crown chakra, accessing the higher realms.
Oh yeah, okay. So this one was just quieting the mind.
Yes,
that's when I just woke up. Okay, and then the crown chakra was accessing my angels and spirit guides and my grandma.
So you did see her?
And my animal totem. So I saw.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Which one was it?
Tiger.
Interesting.
And then. Were
you aware of that before?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know his name though.
What is his name?
Ozark.
Ozark.
Well, I guess that's what I call him. Okay. But then the angels that I've always worked with Loala, Sarah, Delphinia, and then my spirit guide Henry.
Okay.
And then of course I felt like the Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael around.
Cool. And that's who you like to work with because you like to.
Yeah, absolutely. Angels. And I'm trying to work with Archangel Gabriel, but I haven't
done so much.
Yeah.
What about so any other family members or loved ones besides grandma?
Yeah, there are cousins and stuff like that, but my grandmother, I just like had this feeling of touching her hand in church. We used to sit and I'd hold her hand.
Yeah.
And we were playing baseball. We used to play baseball together, and she threw a pitch to me, and then I threw one back, and I just remember her saying, "You don't have to throw like a girl," and I'm like, "Oh, Grandma, I am one." She used to be a pitcher, and so I just had these like special moments of just being with my grandma.
Cool. And then you got to tap into that in the session?
Yeah, I felt her hands. Like I could feel her hands, and
cool.
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know why, it's just like a special moment for me to like hold my grandma's hands.
Well, yeah, and so you got to tap into that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then, so with her, it was more sensationally rather than through seeing or hearing anything?
Both. Yeah, more sensational. Because I feel like my grandma's with me all the time. I feel her, but I mean, it's just always really great to like take those moments and like, this was like specific. I could feel her hands.
Specifically? And know it was her?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No doubt. Yeah.
Cool. What about higher self? Do you remember any of that?
Higher self, let's see, let me think. When we're supposed to access our higher self, yeah, but I don't really recall any like specific moments other than knowing that I was accessing, kind of looking at myself in. Okay. Yeah.
Well, that's still an interesting reflection on that. How about with extrasensory abilities?
Clairsentient, clairaudient. I felt, like I said, empathic clairsentience more so than clairaudient and clairvoyance.
Within today's session, because that was the strongest traits you have?
Yeah.
Cool. And then we moved down to throat chakra.
That was really difficult for me. And I think until we got down to the sacral, I was still struggling with it. It felt really heavy. Mm-hmm. But I remember you were in my ear telling me things like, you know, I have to love myself and validate myself unconditionally. Mm-hmm. And you helped me clear any negative thoughts about it.
Cool.
So yeah, I remember all that. And you had me look at myself in a mirror and tell myself things of validation, that I'm beautiful and that I'm worthy and that I deserve to be happy and I deserve love and I deserve all these good things to happen. Deserve all good things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember all that part.
And how did that feel? Do you think you were able to receive it, though, from self?
Yeah, definitely. I actually do that in my own practice, to be honest with you, but I haven't done it for a long time, so it felt really good. But again, like I feel great right now, but I was really closed for a while. I don't even know why. I was like, I could feel like my ego and everything just fighting this energetically.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What about boundaries?
Oh, yeah. One of those. I do remember you saying, or like helping me set boundaries, that I was going to have clear boundaries with people. And then I think I remember this part, that we talked about anybody who I didn't have boundaries with, that I was going to learn how to say no, and what it felt like to say no, and then also what it felt like to say, no, I don't feel like that. and different ways of saying no. And then we also did different ways of saying, this works for me.
Yeah.
Yes, this works.
I agree with this.
Yeah, I agree with this.
And know the difference between how you feel about something so that you know how to honor those boundaries within you by listening to that voice.
Right.
And do you think that's going to help you from
absolutely
today onwards?
There's a lot to take in. I'm still like, what? Huh? What?
yeah, that's why this hurts.
Right, this is going to be great. I'm so excited. I get to have this as a reflection of like everything that happened.
Yeah, exactly.
It's one thing to go through this and experience it, and one thing to also take time to reflect and to remember. And
yes, and that's what I love about doing the videos. It gives the client or whatever the opportunity to not only process it while we're talking about it, which I do anyways, but have that opportunity to go back to it. So that's always, I feel like, helpful. Yeah. Just because when you're in your own time, there's so many things that might flood back to you, and things that may have not even been mentioned in this part of it that you might recall later as it start coming in. So yeah, a good thing would be to like journal as well. Take that time to reflect.
I was thinking when we started, like when we were going through it, there was a moment I was like, why am I not recording this? This is amazing information. It's okay.
We're recording it now.
I know, right? But I was just thinking, this is so awesome.
And then
heart chakra.
So heart chakra.
I loved this part. It was really awesome. I loved the whole planting. So I love, one of the reasons why I love this is because I love yoga. When I told you I love yoga, it's every time I show up to my mat, I always put my hands to hearts on her, planting a seed of intention in my life. And that seed that's what it represents, the lotus flower, how it grows into a beautiful lotus flower, because it grows in the murkiest of times or murkiest of water and grows into this beautiful flower. So I was thinking of that when we did this because you had me take out all the bad, murky stuff, all the anger and the sadness and the depression, and take my little weed cutter and,
get rid of stuff
and throw it in the bin and burn it.
And how did that feel?
It felt really good. It felt like I could probably sit there for a long time and do it. But then it felt really clear on that now, so it feels really good, and I'm definitely going to use that tactic in the future. Perfect. And then you had me plant seeds of happiness and love and things that I deserve, and then I love that you said to put how we built the garden, and then I saw like butterflies, which you said right away. Before, I was thinking before, and then I saw deer and fawns, and I saw baby bunnies, and then the bees, and then honestly, I was like, when you said there's a jar of honey, I was like, anytime I want to drink, I should just go get a jar of honey and take some of it. Because they said from the bees, like the bees are represent, thank you for planting this garden, because the bees pollinated the flowers for us to share, and I thought that was really beautiful in the sense that I'm planting my own garden in my life. Yeah. So it's beautiful. And they're creating more abundance of it. And then the honey's really good, so. Yeah. And it might be a good tool, or if you're feeling down and you need that reminder. That it's I love that bee. The bee thing was awesome. I was like, that's really cool. Yeah. And then as far as when we're getting rid of the weeds, compared to how you felt beforehand and how you think you feel now, do you notice a difference in in their chest? My heart and all that feels really light comparatively. That part was a lot though. That part was like intense. It was very intense, so I don't really know if I felt how awesome it was until now. Like I felt it was awesome, but there was but we had to do work first. Moment. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. What about taking the wall down in the beginning of that? Oh yeah, the wall. Definitely felt that. I felt myself like just taking a hammer and just like, how like cutting down the Berlin Wall. I definitely have blocks around my heart, or had. Still continuously going to work on that, blocks around my heart in regards to love, and sort of didn't really realize that until I think subconsciously I knew, or unconsciously I knew that like I have walls, but I didn't really recognize the fact that I have walls around love, and how love has been a source of pain, like for a lot of people, but a source of pain in my life in some ways. And so I'm excited to work forward, on breaking those walls down. And receiving love. Receiving, okay, yes. I forgot that part. That's important because I guess I shouldn't say I guess, I do have problems with receiving love and feeling value to have love. Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully after today that
it's crazy because I don't think, you don't think that, but then when you write your feelings down or you think about your feelings and then you unveil all this, you're like, wow, you really do have,
a block.
validation, your block. Yeah. As a little kid. And so I just saw myself as a little girl and basically told myself I was going to be my own best friend and then merged with the inner child, which is really beautiful because there's a lot of things that it was hard to imagine at first because, we're so self-critical of ourselves and, there's like this, I don't know, as an adult looking at yourself as a child, you kind of are your own parent kind of thing. And I think that was really beautiful, is just finding that unconditional love of the innocent child versus the person that you become. And then also I remember when we first did the first part, you asked me, what would you tell your higher self? What do you need? And one of the things is going back to this was more time alone and time in a garden. I felt like when you were talking about, Mother Earth, when you had me go down to Mother Earth, that's funny. Because in the very beginning, I saw myself laying in a park in the garden, just resting.
Okay.
And so when we were talking about the root chakra, you talked about me going into Mother Earth and curling up in that. There's a beautiful photo of it, right? There's this person who's crawled up in a ball into Mother Earth, and you said I was surrounded by my angels and everyone was with me, but just taking all the love and energy in from Mother Earth, the unconditional love and energy from Mother Earth, and let it heal me. And then I crawled back up the roots when I was done. It was really cool. I was like, yeah. And then anytime that I need that, I can always go back down. But I grew roots as well, right? Yeah. So I often do meditation. When I do meditation, I always picture myself as a tree trunk going down into the earth to
ground yourself.
Yeah.